Hello everyone, I am Lillymu 961 and today I am super excited because we are going to be discussing Black Swan by BTS, and oh my goodness, this song has snatched my heart. So excited to talk about this song today. There's a lot to analyze, there's a lot to just discuss. So I'm not going to take too long with this intro today, but for the two people who don't know who BTS is, let me just go ahead and give them a short intro into, the group and everything. 방탄소년단, otherwise known as BTS, is a South Korean K-pop group that has been active since June 13th, 2013. The group consists of 7 members: Kim Namjoon, Kim Seokjin, Min Yoongi, Jung Hoseok, Park Jimin, Kim Taeyoung, and of course, my bias, Jun Jungkook. Since their debut in 2013, BTS has grown to gain international acclaim and have set many records. They have performed on various award shows and talk shows, and have also spoken at the United Nations. And on top of all this, BTS just recently finished their world tour known as Love Yourself, Speak Yourself, and they have released a comeback trailer known as Shadow. This brings us back to Black Swan, which is the first single of the upcoming BTS album, Map of the Soul 7. And now that we have covered all that, it is time to delve in to this song because oh my goodness, again, so much to unpack. Let's just get right into it. Normally when I review K-pop songs, I like to start with the music video itself, but since the music video is an art film, it's not really going to make sense to talk about it now until after I've analyzed the lyrics. And since the lyrics are going to take the longest to talk about, we're going to go ahead and dive in straight in to these lyrics that are extremely impactful and convey so much in so very little time. I would say that the first couple of lines are probably the most compelling because they really convey a strong sense of the fear and dread that overtakes a person when they feel like they are losing passion for the things that once gave them drive and purpose in life. In some ways, it actually reminds me of a line that is contained within Airplane Part 2. It's a line that basically says that they give their life to their art. And a lot of the times, artists, their life is tied to the art. If they lose the ability or the desire to create, it's as if they've died. And those lyrics at the beginning of the song immediately draw your attention to the quote that is presented at the beginning of the art film, which states, "A dancer dies twice, once when they stop dancing, and this first death is the more painful." And while this element probably wasn't intended, the continuous reference to the first death is something that is reminiscent of biblical themes, in which the first death is the death of the body, and the second being the death of the soul. Within the Bible, it is stated to not fear the things that can only destroy the body, but to fear the one who can destroy both body and soul. In life, there are things that are devastating. And a lot of the reasons why those things are devastating isn't because of the physical toll it takes, whether those things be ailments or illnesses, major injuries, or the like. A lot of the time, it's the emotional toll of those things. The physical stuff alone doesn't harm as much as the mental toll that it takes, the damage that it inflicts on the soul. And one of the things that ultimately ends up damaging people the most is the loss of purpose. And so this song really does convey that sense of impending loss, or just the fear of losing that purpose, of losing that passion for the things that have given the BTS members purpose and life for all of these years. As I stated at the beginning of this video, they've been active since 2013, and they have risen to heights that they probably never really anticipated. And even that, as positive as that is, it has its own emotional toll. In some ways, there is a price that they have to pay for all of this success, day in and day out. They often aren't able to see their families as much as they want to. They often have their privacy invaded. They have people stalking them. They have people trying to sell their personal information on the internet and stuff like that. And they're constantly having to look over their shoulder, or they never can really feel like people love them for them, you know? But at the same time, they're willing to pay that price because there are people out there that love them. And not only that, but those people want to support them, and they want to be able to give encouragement to those people, the people that support them, the people who have always been behind them, the people who have always believed in them. And those are the things that help people ultimately to continue on their path, to help them continue with their purpose, to help them not lose sight of their purpose. Because when you don't have the tools necessary to keep your purpose in focus, it can really damage you to the point where you might give up entirely. And oftentimes that's what leads to tragedies such as suicide. It's the loss of purpose. It's this sense of depression that you're not getting anywhere, or you're not going where you thought you should be going, or a number of other things. It could just be despair from having to deal with so much and not be able to talk to anybody about it. And losing purpose in life doesn't necessarily mean that, that person will commit suicide or something like that. But it does mean that sometimes that person ends up just existing without really living. And if you're just existing and not living, then that's pretty much the first death that BTS is talking about in this song. That loss of purpose and that loss of, passion, that is like a first death. And for them, being in the profession that they're in, happiness at times can be an elusive concept. On the one hand, they are living out not only their dreams, but experiencing, again, that type of success that they never truly anticipated. Through their music, they're able to leave very strong impacts on people's lives, not only in their own country, but throughout the world. And in their shoes, having all of that pressure and in some ways, responsibility to keep being able to have that strong positive impact, to keep reaching new heights, would be overwhelming. And in their position, my greatest fear would be that the dreams and success would consume me to the point that it would be nothing more than a job, like a regular desk job where day after day you just encounter the same things over and over without anything to truly challenge your mind and heart. And unlike a desk job, you can't just simply quit and leave, because doing so has more major consequences. While looking over this song, I was actually reminded of what Jin said at Mama 2018 and how BTS nearly disbanded because of the pressure they were facing. They felt the pressure to keep succeeding and to keep reaching new heights. And let's say that instead of actually choosing to stick with it, let's say that they had actually quit and actually disbanded before May 18th when Love Yourself Tear came out. Let's just say that that was the case and they had decided to disband before that album came out. Think of all the music and the stages and the beautiful moments that would simply be gone. Not just, for us, like sure, we'd be missing out on the music and the stages and everything, but think about what they would have missed out on too. All the experiences that they gained and all of the trials that they overcame together wouldn't exist. The lessons they learned, the performances that they were able to do, the things that excited them and made them happy, being able to, announce an award at the Grammys, and all of these different things that happened throughout 2018 and 2019, all of these wonderful, amazing things that they've been able to experience. Those things would not have happened if they had disbanded before Love Yourself Tear came out. Those things wouldn't have happened. Those lessons wouldn't have been learned. Like literally this song that just came out, Black Swan, this song that is conveying all of these fears, all of these things that they were scared of at that time, would not exist at all. And I believe that the conclusion that they came to that enabled them to keep going was the realization that stopping in some ways would have been like a death to everything that they had worked so hard for up until that point. So rather than giving in to the fears that they had, they chose to face them and make those concerns into art, which is the best thing that they can do. And I know that that's all really heavy stuff to talk about, but here's the thing. All of that I just talked about is just the first 52 seconds of the song. Those are the lyrics from second 1 all the way to 52. Like, not even a minute in, and you have like all of this stuff just contained within that amount of lyrics. And it has the type of depth that few songs can match. The lyrics are incredibly raw, and they legit just slap me in the face to the point where, if not for the serene and kind of calm tone of the music, it would have hurt too much to listen to it, because these lyrics come from a deep, dark, and lonely place in someone's soul. Like, I don't know who wrote these lyrics. I have a guess, but I don't know. Like, I know Namjoon he's often primarily responsible for lyric writing. And let me just say, Namjoon, if you wrote this, for one, well done, because this is a spectacular song lyrically. It is majestic, it is gorgeous, and it is painful. And also, stop stabbing me with your lyrics. I can't take it. It hurts. It hurts, because, like, it just hurts. I can't get into it because I know I'll cry if I even start to, so we're just gonna shut that down now. The main point that I just need to convey about the lyrics is that they are a beautiful reflection of the darkness that exists in everyone's heart. Like, not just the BTS members specifically in terms of their fears and stuff, but just everyone has felt this to a certain degree. Maybe not in the same way, but everyone has felt what they talk about in this song. At least that's my opinion. I feel that everyone can relate to this song. If they truly listen and pay attention to it, they will know. They will understand. And guys, I get it. I just want to let you know, I get it. I get it. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Next, we will be diving into the music itself, which is the most fun part of this song to talk about. So no heavy stuff here, yeah. And let me just say, big hit. You guys have some of the best producers in the business. I am not joking. Like, just top-notch stuff every time. The quality of BTS's music is just out of this world. And y'all can fight me on it as much as you want to, but that's just a fact, okay? It is just a fact. They have some top-notch quality music, and if you ain't listening to it, you missing out, honey. I'm sorry. Let's see, and I do have some notes written down, so I have to look at them real quick. So the main producer of this song was P-Dog, and he's on a lot of BTS tracks as a producer. It also has credited RM, which is Namjoon. Hey there. We also have August Rigo, Vince Nantes, and Clyde Kelly. They are also credited. I'm not sure if they're credited as producers or like arrangers, because in the music video, the art video for Black Swan, like, it's just in parentheses under the producer's name, and I'm just like, wait, does that mean that they had a hand in producing it, or did they arrange it? Like, I need more clues here. But that's not the point. The point being is that they made a great production team, because Black Swan is composed so beautifully. The melody is instantly compelling. It is instantly haunting. However, when Jimin's vocals like pop in at the beginning and you hear that beat, it's like, it's got that low-key hip-hop vibe, but it's also mixing with the more sort of European sound, like with the instrumentation and stuff. Oh, it's just so good. It's so good. It's very mellow and relaxing while still having that somber sound that complements the lyrics so well. It's good that the song is more of a relaxing tone so that it's not instantly making you cry from the depths of your soul, because goodness gracious, those lyrics, I cannot stress that enough. Those lyrics, they tried to stab me, I tell you. At any rate, the mellow sound is definitely complemented by the changing rhythm. When the beat drops out, it's very impactful, and when the beat intensifies, so do the emotions you feel. And there's one particular part in the song, it has to do with like the pre-chorus, where like the pre-chorus is talking about like, you know, your heart racing, and the beat kind of races at the same time, like in time with the lyrics. Like, it was just a really nice touch for like the beat to kind of match what the lyrics were actually saying in that moment. Just a nice touch. And there's really nothing else that I can say about the music itself. It's just a really nice song. It's a really nice sounding song, and I enjoy the music composition a lot. Like, I love songs like this that are, you know, mellow, but they still have that beat that makes it fun to listen to, so you can groove and dance if you want to. Although it'll be a sad dance with this song, because those lyrics, again, I'm just saying, they tried to stab me. And now, after all of that, I can finally talk about the music video / art film for this song. Now, I really like it a lot, but I will say right now that decoding dances, like choreography wise, like, it's not my strong suit. I'm not really the best at like trying to pick out a theme from a dance, like from an interpretive dance. That's not my skill set. So this is all conjecture here. But basically what I got from the dance in the video is that there's definitely an emphasis on being pulled about by invasive hands. Like, it's something that kind of shows up in Shadow also. When Suga is standing by himself, there are these other people that are around him that kind of like are chasing him and trying to grab at him. And so I feel that that's kind of like an ongoing theme for the Shadow concept in general. The main dancer for this particular piece, he kind of seems to be in a fight for his life, which is fitting considering the lyrical content. And it's like he wants to move forward, but he's constantly being pulled back or being manipulated by the hands of others. And every time he breaks free, he kind of finds himself on the run or being pulled back, and he initially is struggling to really fight against them. And, you know, he's getting kind of like thrown about a lot. He's on the floor at one point, just trying to, you know, get up and just trying to continue onward. Because at this point, it's like these hands and these outside forces are trying to kill him. Eventually, he breaks free of these shadows, and they're still trying to follow, but at the same time, in the video, they kind of disappear the further away that he gets from them. It's as if it's almost as if he's really fighting against himself, and all of these shadows are really just him. And he's managed to get away from the shadow versions of himself and kind of walk on his own terms, and in some way, you know, be empowered by the idea that he's, you know, free of, like, you know, these demons that are basically trying to drag him down to hell. You know, that's kind of what it looks like, how it feels to me, is kind of the theme that it's going for. However, once he thinks that they've, you know, disappeared for good, and once he feels more confident about himself, that's when the shadows return. They return to attack him again, but this time he's a little bit better prepared to fight them off, as he realizes that this is going to be an ongoing fight pretty much for the rest of his life. He's always going to be fighting against his inner demons, because that's the struggle that all of us as humans face. We are all struggling against those inner demons inside of us, those parts of us that we don't want to acknowledge or face. That is the continuous fight. But at the same time, even though this fight is a struggle for him and it's painful, he's determined to keep fighting anyway. More importantly, he faces his fear of himself and embraces the dark side of himself. And that's kind of what you see in like the ending scene when he gets with the group of, you know, shadows again. The struggle isn't over, but it seems to me that the message is, if you know who you are and you're able to face the dark side of yourself, if you're able to control that darkness, then it will give you strength. You'll be able to overcome anything that life throws at you because you've already overcome the worst within yourself. I'm definitely not 100% sure if the dance is actually conveying that, but that's just how it looked to me. And, you know, to the MN Dance Company, you guys did a really great job. It looks spectacular. You guys did great. And again, oh, I almost forgot. I almost forgot. There was one thing I wanted to say about the art video as well. It's shot very well, for one, but also, more than that, the song is rearranged a bit for the art video, and I heard some violins. Yes, honey, the orchestral work. Yes, yes. I've been waiting for BTS to bring back the violins, and they did not disappoint, honey. Thank you. I appreciate that. Beyond that, though, I can't really say much more about the art film because I've only watched it twice before recording this. Perhaps I should have watched it a couple more times, but I definitely wanted to record my thoughts on this as soon as possible in the attempt to actually be relevant for once. Like, seriously, I'm never on time for these things, so for once, I guess I just wanted to be on time. I wanted to be relevant for once. You know, talk about something that most ARMY and everybody's excited about instead of talking about random stuff. Okay, so let's just get to those concluding thoughts. Black Swan is a very stunning, immaculate, beautiful piece of music. It is gorgeous. The lyrics convey so many dark things, but at the same time, even though they're dark, it's also very beautiful and very human. And I feel like a lot of the time, especially in K-pop, that a lot of artists, they get treated as if they're something different than what they are, which is human. You know, people are sometimes entirely too judgmental, or they, I guess because they hold these artists in such high esteem, like anything that they do wrong or any mistake that they just happen to make, even if it's something extremely minor, can almost ruin their career, you know? And it's sad that it's like that. And I'm just hoping that in the future that people remember that artists are human beings too. I feel that this song does a really good job at conveying that message, that artists are human too, and that you need to pay attention to that. Regardless of the fame or the success, you need to pay attention to the fact that they're human, and human beings are fragile. Their hearts are fragile, you know? And, you know, as strong as the BTS members are, because I believe that they are very strong people, they've had to endure a whole lot. You know, everyone has their breaking point, and I don't want them to reach that breaking point. I feel that this song, in a way, is a message conveying that they should be treated with respect and dignity, and they should be loved for what they do right, instead of being chastised for the things that they may do wrong, especially if it's just something minor. It is a song that tells you that they are not perfect. They have never been perfect. They are human like everyone else, and they have fears like everyone else, and they want to be loved like everyone else. And I feel that for that reason, Black Swan is probably one of their best songs ever for that reason, because it just so perfectly captures that message, and it is a message that is desperately needed within the K-pop community. And I am really excited to see what BTS has next for us, because this isn't even the title track. Like, this isn't even the title track, but my goodness, is it an immaculate, wonderful song. And I am super excited to see what BTS has next. And I believe that is all that I need to say for this review today. It got a little bit messy, because these videos always do with me, because, you know, if I'm not running off at the mouth, I'm either sleep deprived and just like totally out of my brain, kind of like right now. So I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.